Record. All right, so we are back. It is RealCapTalk. It's
Real
been
cap
6 months.
man.
It has been 6 months
It feels
since
like
we
a heartbreak.
last a heartbreak.
It feels like a heartbreak.
It feels like a heartbreak, Corey said, but
Yeah.
it's been 6 months since the last episode, since we've last put anything out. We've been a little active on the Twitter account since COVID started and kind of messed everything up, but
Yeah.
uh, we've been talking, and we knew we needed to get something out episode wise, and so this is
Yeah.
what this is.
So we've as you see, if you're on this, you see we've converted to Zoom. And so the thing with that, starting off, so if you didn't know, all of our equipment basically came from tech. You know, tech allowed us to check out cameras, stuff like that, and also gave us um the windows and all the apps to edit everything. We use that from tech. And so basically with COVID happening, we ain't been able to do none of that. Even this semester, we haven't been able to check out the equipment. So they've been keeping us at a crutch.
Yeah, so you know that the saying with everybody in college is broke college kid. That's literally what we were. We were just taking advantage of what we had with the free equipment and the free editing software. Now we don't have any of that. I don't know if anyone knows, but to edit a program or a show, even a podcast, if it was just straight audio like how we started out, all those programs cost,
Bread.
imagine like 5 Netflixes a month. That's what you're paying for.
Some bread.
It's
And
it's
tech
it's
gave it to us
ridiculous.
for free.
Yeah,
So
for free.
I mean, we
But
thank tech, but like,
yeah, we don't have that now. COVID threw everything off. But
yeah.
yeah. So what are
And
you
then
you gonna tell the people what you've been doing for the last 6 months, Corey?
yeah, shout out to Donovan too. We used to record at Donovan's crib too, and then my boy graduated. Man, I'm gonna miss him, man. My boy graduated. Congrats, Don, if you've seen this. And so he's moving, so therefore can't record at his crib, anyways. But these last 6 months, dang, where are we in October right now?
Yeah.
So 6 months dates back to what, March?
March. Yeah, the world kind of stopped on like March
Marches.
12th, 13th.
So COVID started happening at a tough time. I think we recorded our last show probably the week after my grandfather passed away. So I went through that whole, little time frame. March was a little rough. April comes around. The one thing good I take from COVID is it's afforded me the chance to go back home a lot. So if I'm from California, all my family moved back to California, a little life background. All my family, my parents, they moved back to California, pretty much everybody. So it's afforded me the chance to, go back to California much more. Before this year, I'd only go back to California once a year, max twice a year if I was lucky. And I'm talking about like a week max or something like that. So I've been able to spend some time with some family, go back to California and, be there with my parents and my nieces and nephews my nephew's 10 and he's growing up without his uncle. He sees me once a year. And so it's been giving me some time to spend a lot more time with them. So that's a good thing about COVID. They kind of sat me down too. I haven't been doing as much. I've been chilling, in the gym. And so I've been seeing some games. I've been seeing some games. Hit PR the other day on the bench, boy. Trying to get right. And so
Trying to like Mike. Everyone's trying to be like Mike. I know.
Trying to be like Mike.
Yeah.
My last 6 months is just really spending time with family, trying to keep my head above water. Why? COVID taking a lot from us. So that's with me. What about you? What you been up to, man?
The funny thing is, over the past 6 months, I mean, everyone says the same thing. Family time, that's obviously a great thing that happened with COVID. You got a chance to go home and see everybody. But one thing that's really funny on the funny side is, I don't know if you remember, but on the last episode, she actually brought this up. She said, in the episode, do you remember I said, shout out Lena? And that was, everyone's like, oh, what the heck? He really said that in the episode.
I do.
All right. So in the 6 months, I put in that work, and now I'm at the crib.
Whose crib
man.
are you at? Is that the famous leader?
It is. It
One
is.
and
Yeah.
only?
Hey, look, you heard of Babe Ruth? All right. So, kids, if you play baseball, you heard about Babe Ruth calling his shot, and pointing out there and just hit that home run. It's kind of like what I did, bro.
So if I'm not
Some,
mistaken, before that show, you probably knew her for like a week.
yeah,
Like a week or 2 weeks, right?
not even. Yeah, like a week.
Yeah, y'all had just start, doing whatever y'all was doing. And he
Yeah.
said a joke and thought it was gonna be cut out, and I was like, "Have some balls." And so we're gonna keep that, and we kept that in the show. If y'all seen that, that was like, oh, I was kind of shook, just settling down. I don't know how she did it, but she put some magic spell on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now the transition, as you see, he got the stuff in his background. That wasn't his room.
Yeah. No. Nope. But yeah. So last 6 months I've been doing that, but doing the same thing everyone's been doing. School started back up, so kind of managing online school. Obviously we're on Zoom, so we're not doing in-person classes. I mean, tech's doing here and there, but like it's basically online. And they just sent out an email today saying that after Thanksgiving, they sent out a survey saying that students want to do back to online again, like 100%. So we'll see. I don't really know. Me and Corey both about to graduate come May. So that's kind of crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, past 6 months have been a ride for sure. It's definitely nothing that anybody expected before March came.
Yeah.
So 2020 has been crazy, and we're barely halfway through it. So we'll see what these next couple months got left for us. But
Yeah.
kind of transitioning from what we've done since then and catching up, everybody, what we've been up to. What about what we're going to be doing going forward?
Yeah, so we're gonna be trying with things online. This may be to our advantage a little bit, as far as getting stuff like Zoom out, knowing how to work Zoom. We should be able to get some episodes out at least every other week. So right now sports is out of prime, so it's a lot of content we can have y'all entertained about what's going on right now. So we should have some at least every other week.
Yeah, so it'll be on Zoom,
Yeah.
unless we find some equipment by the grace of God. But probably the safest and smartest thing and cheapest thing that we could be doing right now, which is probably the smartest thing, is Zoom. But yeah, man, that's the plan for what we've got coming up. Yeah, like you said, bi-weekly, every other week. An episode of RealCapTalk will be back on YouTube. I'm going to try to get us hooked up. My friend, I didn't even tell you about this yet, Corey. My friend JP, he has his own podcast. And he started it literally just like randomly. And there's this app called Anchor. And Anchor gets you set up on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple, all the streaming platforms for free. And you just do it through them. So I'm going to see, I'll slide that your way and we can work it out and see how to work that. And then hopefully get it onto those things to where not everybody just has to be only on YouTube only. But that's the plan. That's the plan.
That'd be real good.
And we got nothing but time on our hands other than school. So it'll be good to get the ball rolling again and getting something to do for fun other than just eating, chilling, BSing. So
So my boy got cuffed up.
Yeah.
My boy got cuffed up. I think man, I'm still super single over here, ladies. So man, let's get to it, bro. Man, it's been crazy. Elections coming up. Trump over here. Our COVID.
Yeah.
It's been going nuts. So I'm not gonna lie. Last election was our first time to be able to vote, and so
not me. I wasn't on this.
Oh, you were on 20, right? You didn't. Your birthday is not around yet. So the last election was my first time to be able to vote, and just to be honest, I didn't vote that election because my options were, choose between the evils, as a lot of people like to say, choosing who's bad or worse. So I didn't vote. And, everybody votes matter, all that stuff. I'm not saying don't vote. Please vote. Like this year, I'm going to vote. And, we'll hope this goes well.
Yeah,
But,
no matter who you vote for, at the end of the day, I think it's a good idea just to vote and use that.
yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of kids. That's what I wasn't old enough to vote, but I thought probably would have ran through my same mind. Because that's kind of, and when you're young like that, that's just kind of the way you think. You don't really do
Yeah.
the research, kind of follow what everyone else is doing on like Twitter and social
Yeah.
media and word of mouth. So, but now we are older. It's kind of our responsibility if we want to see a change. The biggest thing everyone's saying you can do is go vote. So
Yeah.
that'd be a good thing. Yeah, it's coming up in what's today? Today's the 5th. It's a month from now. So
Yeah.
1 month. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's the election, everything that has been going on with COVID. Like you said, Donald Trump has COVID right now. And then all the social justice movement that's going on right now that started
Yeah.
back in, when did that start? Was that also in March? No, that was like April, May. It might have been May, right? It started with George Floyd. That's what it started with. I don't remember exactly what month that was.
Yeah.
I think it was May. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't remember what month it was either. But
And that's what's crazy. The fact that we can't even
crazy.
remember it makes it even more crazy because since then there's been obviously other incidents, but that was the one that kind of, was like the lighter fluid for the whole movement to get ignited. So, yeah, man, it's been wild.
It's been kind of crazy. I see a lot of people. I appreciate a lot of people that have been trying to support the movement and everything that's going on. Black, white, Mexican, whatever, Latina, all that. I know a lot of people that's supporting the movement, and so we thank all y'all, just for helping that, keep going forward, because that's the only way we move forward is if we all come together,
Yep, facts.
So appreciate all you guys that's out there working.
I think that's the biggest thing that I learned over the last 6 months is, like you said, the way to change is coming together. It doesn't do anybody any good if you're going to go up to someone that has a different viewpoint as you and you tell them you're wrong and that my viewpoint is what you should be thinking, because that's not going to change their mind. That's just going to make them hate you and your viewpoint and people that think like you even more. That's what stood out to me. So, like, regardless of what the issue is, whether it's politics, race, religion, simple sports arguments. If I went up to you and was like, no, you're stupid, LeBron James isn't the GOAT, it's Michael Jordan, you're not just be like, oh yeah, shit, you're right. You're gonna be like, no, that's why that argument still goes on to this day. That's no, LeBron's GOAT. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. That's what people gotta understand.
In some parts of I don't know, society, I feel like we almost took a step back with some things going on. It's like, I don't know, our division has really become clear.
Yeah, it's been bigger.
It's become real clear about, how people feel. You get these rallies that's going on, and a lot of these are really underlining, hate groups kind of. When you see how people are doing things, they even told me the other day, and so like I said, I don't have no problem with you support who you support as a politician, right? So I don't hate all Donald Trump supporters if you support Donald Trump, but it's a line that you can cross. And so, like, for example, Donovan just got a new car. He was driving past a Trump rally and almost got ran off the road, like, purposely. And so that's kind of the stuff. Is like, is it just a Trump rally, or are you crossing the line to this becoming just a symbol for you to show your hate for others? And a lot of that has been, I think, clear to a lot of people now. And so in that case, I feel like we kind of took a step back, and it kind of sucks to see, just to see that type of stuff. But I still feel like there's hope in our generation. Like my friends, I feel like it's a lot of hope with who I'm around, who I grew up with, and who I see on a daily basis.
Yeah. So I think people identifying with the political party as like a characteristic of themselves are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Your political party, whenever you die, isn't dying with you. So while you can believe what you believe, and I'm never going to tell someone what to believe, but I really don't understand what you're gaining from that. Because you're not helping anybody and you're not making yourself look cool. You may be joining a little community, but is that community, what's it based off of? You know what I mean? Like you said, is it based off of a hate thing? Is it based off of people that are actually just lost and don't have a lot of people
Yeah.
around them and they want to join a little community? What are you really getting behind? You should do your research and stand up for what you believe in, but also know what you're believing in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to stay as apolitical as possible. So, I mean, in case anybody's watching this or watches this in the future, it doesn't come and bite us in the butt. But I will say, you said in terms of like future generation, our generation, yeah, man. If you think about it, the way I've always thought about politics is politicians are old, right? So their generation came up and they might be our parents' age or a little bit older. So 50, 40 years from now, politicians are going to be in power that are our generation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we stand up and do something now, maybe it looks
Yeah.
better in the future. Hopefully it doesn't take 40, 50 years,
Yeah.
but that's the way you got to kind of think about it. Change is slow, always has been, and it always will be. So you gotta be patient with it. I know it's frustrating every day when you scroll through Twitter and it's kind of like a cesspool of, oh, what's new, what awful thing kind
Yeah.
of happened next in 2020, but just gotta keep that faith. That's all it is.
Yeah. So
Getting out of the political realm,
yeah, let's move to a
uh,
little
let's go back to
positive.
our roots.
Yeah, let's hoops first, man. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pull up the receipts, but I'm gonna talk about the receipts.
Okay.
I did say Lakers in the championship.
Fair enough. And I did say I probably said the Clippers. I think I did,
You did, yeah, you
and
did.
I was wrong.
Everything
But
is came. Go
to
ahead.
defend myself, I didn't think Paul George was going to turn out the way he did. And I told you when it happened in person that I know everyone here that's listening that follows basketball remembers the night with Dame Lillard. When the Clippers clowned Dame Lillard, I texted Corey and I said, I want off that ship. I'm not a Clippers fan. Take me off of it. I don't like Paul George no more. I hate Pat Bev. I can't stand Doc Rivers. I don't like Montrezl Harrell. I don't like the Morris brother, whichever one it is.
So
And yeah, and
the
then they sank, and the whole world loved to see it. And
yeah.
I was one of them that loved to see it too, even though I made the call come back in the beginning of the year.
First, they should have lost to the Mavs. The Mavs probably would have won if KP doesn't get ejected in that first game. And
Yeah,
then
Luka is something
KP.
that Luka's next Kobe.
Okay, relax.
Not athleticism wise, but
Yeah,
that
exactly. So don't
cold
say he's the
blooded.
next Kobe
No,
because
no,
he
no,
has.
because that mentality that guy got, that's different. That's
I
different,
agree.
dude.
I agree. He's and so that's why the Mavs would have won that series if KP doesn't get hurt or ejected in that first game. And so I will say Mike did text me that, but I'm gonna brag. I said this in a show when the Clippers first got PG. We came out with a show after that when that trade happened, and I said, if you're a Laker fan, this doesn't scare you because going back, PG has had troubles in the playoffs, and he has never shown up. He had a few good games with the Pacers, but and I gave him the excuse of saying he played Miami, and that's LeBron in his prime. So I give you the excuse of not being able to do anything then, but going after that, playoff P is not something you want on your team. And I said,
Pandemic P.
episode, I said he disappears in the playoffs. And this is going back to when they played the Jazz like 2 years ago, and Joe Ingles busted Paul George for like 30. And then in the elimination game, Paul George goes 3 for 17, and Joe Ingles closes that game too. Well, not just Joe Ingles, but the Jazz and Joe Ingles is his matchup. They close that series out, and he played terrible. Next year, obviously, we see what happened with, Portland, how Portland put them out and, changed that whole OKC team. And, salute to the OKC team this year, because they did their thing this year. And
yeah, they got a good future coming their way.
Sure. Yeah, they do. We'll see what Chris Paul does next. His contract is pretty high, so
I bet he gets traded.
I
saw some. You want to get into trade rumors about Chris Paul? I think Giannis has half a season left with the Bucks unless they make a really interesting move. And if Chris Paul was his PG, I think that they would have looked a lot different in the playoffs. A lot different, because they don't need Chris Paul to be the scorer guy. But if you had Chris Paul as your playmaker, that opens up Giannis's game so much more.
Yeah,
so much more.
I think Giannis. A lot of people blame LeBron for having an easy route to the finals, but that's because all these people that everyone said is better, at the end of the day, choked, Giannis included. Giannis should be in the finals right now.
Giannis didn't play good. Giannis didn't play good. Yeah, but I think people that are selling stock on Giannis right now and don't think that he's really that dude, they gotta chill with that, because at the end of the day, Giannis is only 25. He's only 25. He's got a long way ahead of him, and you got to think, if all these guys that are face of the league type guys, like, I'm not saying he's LeBron, but Giannis is in that conversation where it's like, okay, once LeBron is gone, whose league is it going to be? Giannis is in that conversation, regardless of how bad he played in the playoffs. That's just facts. 2-time back-to-back MVP, and he's only 25. So
I don't think he deserves MVP this year.
But I don't either. But I don't think he did either. But I might be falling prey, and I think a lot of people might be falling prey to recency bias, because we had all those months off. And I don't really remember how dominant Giannis was when NBA was still the NBA, not in the bubble. Because in the bubble, if we were giving out awards, then yeah, like LeBron was consistently giving you 28, 12, and 10.
But even at the end of the season, I still remember
LeBron had that stretch, where y'all beat the Celtics and beat the Clippers,
Bucks, the Mavs. LeBron put on that stretch where he showed, he's still the best player in the game right now. And that game of basketball was a little different from how the Lakers are playing now, because it's like, I don't know, Anthony Davis is coming to himself, and LeBron is, trying to win a championship rather than trying to win a game. And so
if LeBron really, really is mad about it, he can prove it by winning Finals MVP, which I think right now it's between him and Anthony Davis. So
yeah, and
or Jimmy Butler.
The game Anthony Davis had last game, it kind of brings that. It kind of puts LeBron in the league, and if they would have won last game, somehow if they would have put that out, LeBron would have definitely been in the lead for MVP, because Anthony Davis got in foul trouble and just almost a non-factor in that game. He had turnovers, but they look terrible.
That kind of brings us into the finals then.
Yeah, I've said this in every round the Lakers had. I said it's gonna be that one game they have where they just play terrible. I said this to so many people. Lakers always have that one game where they just play terrible, shooting, hitting shots. AD is not playing like he should be, and then LeBron is just LeBron turns on that switch. People say when he wants to, but sometimes he don't turn on the switch. And so, like, I think last night, or was it last night? Yeah, last night was definitely a winnable game. But LeBron's not old LeBron. Like LeBron's not. He's still oddly in his prime, but he's not prime LeBron. Like, he's on the tail end of his prime, obviously, but he's not, prime LeBron that we've seen before. And so stuff like that, you see, he's still trying to, do some other things, and it's like LeBron, You see Jimmy out here taking over. This is what you got.
Jimmy,
He
dude,
doesn't do it.
Jimmy's a problem.
Jimmy is a
Jimmy's a
problem, bro. Jimmy
problem.
is a problem. I said this when he went to Miami, and you know, people always thought I was capping just because you know I was a D Wade fan. You know, I've always been a D Wade fan, so people just thought I was capping. And then, you know, I am surprised to see them in the finals. I didn't see this happen. I'm not. I'd be a lie if I said I seen
I
this.
am and I'm not. One, because Pat Riley. I mean, they
Big
remind
dog.
me so much of the Spurs. It's insane the way that the
Yeah,
whole franchise runs, the way that
yeah,
team plays.
yeah,
The old Spurs. Like when the Spurs first
yeah,
started, obviously Tim Duncan was a superstar beast. You couldn't do anything to stop him. David Robinson, Tony Manu in their prime, like that's a whole different beast. But the
yeah,
Spurs, when they beat Miami, like the LeBron Miami,
yeah,
that is the same team that you're watching right now with the Heat. Obviously, before
yeah,
Bam and Goran Dragic got hurt,
yeah,
but they like because Timmy was old, Monty was old, Tony was old, and they should had no business beating that
yeah.
team, and they did.
If Miami can keep this team together, they are going to be scary. Like in the next 5 years, if they keep this core together, and I'm talking Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Bam, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, if they keep that core group together, man, they will be tough.
Yeah,
Tough. 'Cause you got everybody's young. Bam is kind of. I feel like Bam has the highest ceiling out of all of them. Jimmy Butler's their best player.
hero.
I think it's Bam, just because I think he adds so much more defensively too. He's potential defensive player of the year
I
player.
think, yeah, facts. I respect to Bam. I think Hero though has that that swagger,
Yeah, he
and
does.
he's a little corny sometimes because he's that little white dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's got game. He does got
yeah.
game. It's
But if
true.
they can
So
stay together, because obviously Kendrick Nunn hasn't been playing much in the bubble. He came in with COVID and then he had to leave again because of his family issues. So he kind of lost his rhythm in the bubble. But if you didn't know about Kendrick Nunn, he was third in Rookie of the Year
rookie of
vote.
the year. Yeah, people were
Kendrick
mad because it
Nunn,
wasn't Hero.
yeah, Kendrick Nunn is a problem. He started a lot of games for Miami, and he was a problem. So he's gonna get back to normal. Probably I don't maybe not uh, by the end of this series, but going forward, you know, him and Tyler are obviously rookies. Jimmy is still young. Bam is like in his third year now. He's still young. Duncan Robinson is still young. If they can keep that together,
Be nice.
they'll be tough. They'll be tough because one of them will submerge and come out a superstar for sure.
Yeah.
If not Bam, then Tyler Hero will become that, you know, top 5, top 10 player of you know the NBA scene.
So who do you think's gonna win the finals then? You still got your Lakers?
Oh yeah, it's Lakers. It should have been I said Lakers in 5. It's gonna be Lakers in 5, and then what sucks is you know LeBron hasn't been doing his little social media shutout, so he sees everything people are saying, and that's kind of good because some stuff is fueling LeBron. Like you can see, you know, when Dame did something, or when you know,
Or when Kyrie said something?
but yeah. So LeBron probably will be, you know, on a mission these next 2 games, and he's probably
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy watching LeBron play. I give LeBron a hard time because I always say if you want to be in that GOAT conversation, you better get criticized. Like you want to be held to
yeah.
a high standard, then I'm gonna hold you that standard. But he's LeBron. Who doesn't like watching LeBron play?
Yeah, I
But
read something the other day and it was like, dang, LeBron sure do got a lot of haters, but I know everybody be tuned in when he be playing.
yeah,
It don't
that's how
matter
it
if
goes.
not.
Once you get that
You
big,
be
that's just how it
watching them
is.
because y'all have so much to say. So yeah. Yes. But
Yeah,
who you got? You got the Lakers or Miami?
I got LA, and I say 6. I think Jimmy will probably get one more. I think Lakers will probably get the next game. Be pissed off that they choked that last one. And then I think Jimmy will get one more game when Dragic and Bam come back. They said Bam will be back next game, but Dragic won't.
Yeah.
But I think they can still one more. But I don't think they'll win the series unless something crazy happens. So
Yeah.
who knows? That'd be
I
dope to
think
see, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'd probably go as far as to say they could probably win the series without AD too. If you know, if we see Rondo's been hooping Rondo's been hooping.
Oh, Rondo's a good point guard. People always give him trash. People hate on Rondo and Danny Green like they didn't win rings. So Lakers fans hate on Danny Green a lot. A
Yeah,
lot, a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. He probably won't be there next year either. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting to see
He's
Lakers
a good
because a lot
defender.
of the Lakers contracts are 1 and 2 year deals. A lot of players on the Lakers because they did this tryout thing where you don't produce, then next year you're gonna be done, and it's gonna be interesting next year.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that kind of wraps it up on NBA talk. You want to hit NFL, or do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I do want to
We can
get
do
a
like a
quick
quick punch
preview.
of NFL.
Yeah, best team in the league right now is probably hands down Chiefs. I think they played the best teams. They beat the Ravens, who is the second best team to me. So I think it's Chiefs.
Ravens are not the second best team.
I think Seahawks is the second best team now.
Nope.
But the Seahawks. Who you got? Don't.
Dude. But
I
for
know
real
you're not.
though,
I know
but
you're
for
not gonna
real,
say it.
I don't think they're the best team in the league. They haven't played the schedule that the Chiefs had.
Who's the second best team?
Second best team, I think. Honest to God, and people aren't gonna agree with this and call me biased, but
We're gonna
honest to
say the
God,
Steelers.
legit, they have the best defense in the league. They do. And they have a healthy Big Ben, a team that went 8-8 last year with a practice squad quarterback. A practice squad quarterback got their Hall of Fame quarterback, 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback
I think
back.
they're the second best team in the league.
I think they're the biggest problem to Kansas City in the league. Yes. I'd put Kansas City, then I put Pittsburgh, then I put Green Bay. People sleep on them. Aaron Rodgers is a different Aaron Rodgers than what you saw last year. Aaron Rodgers is on his Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes plays like Aaron Rodgers. People forget. And then fourth, I'll put Seattle because Russell Wilson is a dog. And fifth, I don't know. I don't know.
You leaving the Ravens out of your top 5?
Maybe Ravens. Maybe I don't. I don't trust Lamar Jackson in a big game. I think Lamar is a great football player, but in the big game, time and time has proven again. Even going back to college when he was at Louisville, and I know he didn't have the talent Deshaun Watson and Clemson had, but when those matchups happened, he lost and he didn't
He
play
did.
good.
He did.
And then it translated over to the NFL. The 2 playoff games against San Diego back when they were the Chargers, or San Diego, or the Chargers back when they
Was
were
it
San
San
Diego.
Diego or was it Titans?
No, it's San Diego.
San
His
Diego?
first year in the playoffs, and then second year, which was last year, he got ran over by Derrick Henry. And then
It was
when
the
he played the
Titans last
Chiefs
year.
this year,
Yeah.
he played the whole game and threw for what, 95 yards passing?
He threw for he had 7 yards in the first half.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a great player, but to win those big games,
In the
your
playoffs.
team has to have a quarterback that can make the clutch throw when you need
Yeah.
that throw. And I don't trust Lamar Jackson to do that. And that sucks.
I
'Cause
will
like
agree. So you kind of said this to me before, and I never thought about this, but scrambling QBs who can't throw the ball struggle in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so only real QB who we've seen true scrambling QB, at least in my lifetime, make it that far was Cam. And that year Cam was, going crazy. And he did.
Cam could throw it on a rope.
Yeah. And so that's the difference. And so Lamar is going to have to add more to his game than running the ball.
He's got a lot of time, but that offense, and also their offense doesn't work because when they go down,
in the playoffs,
they can't come back. They can't run the ball.
That's the big thing. Once you got to go up early against the Ravens, and you pretty much beat them because then you make them, play out of their game. If you can't run the ball down 2 or 3 possessions in the third and fourth quarter, you're not gonna be able to do it, especially against high-powered offenses like the Chiefs.
And you can check the tape, bro. I'm not even lying to you. Last year, Lamar Jackson's worst game was against Pittsburgh. He threw 2 picks and had 111 yards passing against Pittsburgh last year before the Titans game. That was probably his worst game.
He even said this year that Chiefs was like his kryptonite or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
don't sleep on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 3-0. I know how they haven't played anybody yet. They've only played Houston. I don't even know who else they have in there.
They played Houston.
The Giants.
They just beat was it the Bears?
No, they just beat Houston because they didn't play this weekend because of the COVID cases. They're supposed to play Tennessee. The Tennessee had those 8 players.
Yeah.
I don't remember who their second game was, but they haven't played anybody good. Then they're finna play Philly, who's also not that good.
Yeah.
But but it's probably the
So
best we've played so far.
who's your dark horse team that you got going far?
Pittsburgh, because no one's talking about them. Literally, they're 3-0. That defense is legit. If you don't want to call them the best, you got to call them at least top 3 in terms of who they got and how good they are. They're fast, and they create so many turnovers. They lead the league in turnovers. They didn't even play this weekend. So Pittsburgh's my sleeper pick. And Green Bay, because people aren't talking about Green Bay either. People are still thinking Rodgers is washed.
My sleeper pick is the Patriots.
The who?
The Patriots.
Patriots? Yeah, they got to see how they do with Cam back, because obviously they got whacked tonight. But
yeah, and if Cam would have played, this game would have went a lot different.
I think this is Cam's audition, though. I don't think Cam is a long-term quarterback.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's his audition. He can be a long-term quarterback.
He can, but I don't think it'll be in New England.
And then every game, but who did they lose to? They lost one game against
Seattle.
They lost to Chiefs tonight. I'm not talking about this game. They lost to Seattle, and that's the one
play.
The end of the game was probably the worst play I've ever seen Bill Belichick call at the end of the game. It was
Cam the Rock running against 11 dudes.
Yeah, they did it all game, and then the last play of the game they tried again, and then Cam should have hit the outside. It was terrible. It was the worst play call I ever seen Bill Belichick make at the end of the game. But besides that, in every other game, Cam doesn't turn the ball over. And that's what you have to do to win games with this Patriots team. Last year, Tom didn't turn the ball over, and that's how they won games. You don't have to score a lot with that defense because that defense is if you can make some arguments, they're top 3 defense in the league.
Yeah.
They also create turnovers. They're stout. They got playmakers everywhere. And they're not healthy this year. They don't have everybody this year. But they're
still good.
Bill Belichick defense always going to be.
Yeah, nice.
Great. So, Patriots, my dark horse team. They'll probably make it far in playoffs.
Dope. Well, I said that probably much wraps it up. What do you think, Corey?
Man, I miss you, bro.
Yeah, for real.
For real. I miss RealCapTalk. We'll see. Now, if you have any thoughts, any criticism, let us know.
Yeah, for real. Suggestions.
Suggestions.
Ideas.
So,
if you know about Anchor and you can help me out and help Corey out, slide us the instructions and we'll get it up. But yeah, that's a wrap. Yeah, no cap. We got cap. What is
no cap?
So, all right, we'll catch y'all later. Peace out, Corey.